You're sitting there cracking up. You got pregnant at 14. You find it hilarious.
You'd rather kill her than have anybody else have her.
I'm an abuser, or I used to be, okay? I'm a violent man.
With program you can really sink yourself into. This is E! Entertainment Television's award-winning talk soup. Greg Kinnear back on the air one more time, checking out highlights of the soap operas. Coming up, we're going to be, what? Talk shows, whatever. In a moment, John Wayne Bobbitt's brother speaks out. Also, Dr. Ruth. And a man complains that his identical twin brother steals every single potential date in his life. First, though, you've heard about the phrase, what you see is what you get. You have, haven't you? Well, it turns out that's not always the case. Wednesday, Shirley met a fashion model named Coco. No, not our friend Coco from talk shows past who flashes horrified and curious onlookers in shopping malls. This Coco's a preoperative transsexual male who walks the runways in Paris with the likes of Iman and Linda Evangelicist. An audience member tried to find out if Coco is really a man or a woman.
Well, I was wondering if you're a woman or a man. Like, can you get changed back? Are you changed? Because you look too good.
Honey, I haven't changed yet.
I think you want to know if everything has been changed.
Thank you. That's it.
Only thing that's been changed is my shoes and and yeah. I haven't
I think he's really
yet.
trying to be so sensitive
I
here.
haven't
He wants to know if you have a
honestly.
penis.
What?
Well, can I answer that?
Honestly, I was born like a Barbie
ladies here
doll.
were dying to know.
Can I answer that?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's a good question. Honestly, it's a good question, but that really has nothing to do with the subject that we're on.
No, it's
but
true.
if you want to ask her that, you can wait afterwards.
I think part of it is the curiosity.
I know, it's quite all right.
The green room.
Yes, indeed. Highlight of Shirley. The man on the panel there with the very subtle sport coat was fashion illustrator Alvaro. Later in the show, Coco gave a taste of what he/she does on fashion runways around the world. Definitely got a little thingy. By the way, where have I seen that walk before? It just keeps going through my mind over and over again. I've seen it just so many times. I don't... Monday on Shirley, find out the secrets of sex and romance. A panel of experts offers tips on how to drive your mate wild in bed. Richard Bay met couples on the brink of Splitsville yesterday. One couple who appeared on the show was Anne and Ishmael. They've been married for 3 years now, and I guess they have, you were saying, 4 kids? 4 kids, but Anne is ready to call it quits. She says she's done with the whole thing, ready to toss it all aside. She described Ishmael as a nefarious Lothario who can't stop sleeping around, and she is not going to take it anymore. She told Richard what she did recently when she found a bunch of telephone numbers hidden in Ishmael's pocket, and then she said...
I phoned them and asked them, did they know of Ishmael? And they said yes. And I said, well, when was the last time you see him? And the only reason why I want to know is because I'm his wife. I don't want any problems, but I want to know because he's 93, and if he's playing me, I'm going to be playing him right back.
Okay, but you know... You know that 2 years ago, he in fact did have an affair with another woman.
Yes.
All right, so you've been married for 3 years, so this happened during the marriage.
Yeah.
How did you find out that he was with somebody else?
Well, I found out because I went by his brother's house and his brother's wife. It's a long story. I don't need to get into it,
But you forgave him then?
Yeah, because I know where I stand, and it wasn't the girl's fault. She didn't know any better. When you don't know something, you just don't know something. Now, if she knows me and if she was to attempt to do it again, then I'll just, you know, beep it.
You did have a big fight over these 5 numbers. What did you do to him?
I hit him over the head with a hammer and cracked his head.
believe Lorena Bobbitt calls that foreplay, right?
Apparently Ishmael says that he doesn't want Anne to leave him. He's ready to make amends and make a happy life with her and her hammer. Monday, Richard meets people who use sex to get ahead, including a woman who betted a man to get college tuition, and that's a lot of units. Monday. CBS This Morning correspondent Gordon Elliott is a very large man. He's like 6'6" or 6'7". Certainly compared to one of America's leading authorities on sex, that would be Dr. Ruth Westheimer. Elliott had a little fun recently with Dr. Ruth when he ran into her at a television conference down there in Florida. I'll take a look at this.
Have I ever told you the fantasies I have?
I have to tell you something.
What?
Yesterday in the New York Post.
You thought of me?
No, but there was a picture of me and right next to me Princess Di.
Really? That's what I've been dreaming. You and Di.
No.
Dr. Ruth, have I told you how attractive I find petite women? Now, just put that for a moment. I just want to dance with you. I just want to dance with you. Okay, I'll dance.
Much too old for her.
I must. Come on, dance.
You're too old for that. I'll put her up.
You know, the lonely nights I've spent dreaming of this moment, Dr. Ruth. I think the sexual chemistry is undeniable, don't you? Stop teasing me, you beast. Oh, my, I'm too missing for your love. I know. Golly. Now, that's sex in a small package. Bye-bye.
A little weird, but all right. That's Gordon Elliott there. He's not reporting only for the convention for CBS This Morning. He's also down there plugging, I guess, his new talk show that'll be coming up in the near future called The Gordon Elliott Show. In fact, I believe Greg Agnew caught up with him down in NAPD, and...
In fact, I could define it as having the courage of my own ignorance and a compelling need to be on Greg's show. Talk soon.
Oh, wow. Monday, CBS This Morning begins a week-long series on high blood pressure, what it is, what to do about it, and why it's not really a good thing to have. Just ahead, teenage mothers get criticized for their carefree attitudes, and comedian Rita Rudner describes a visit to her boyfriend's place next.
The frost was so thick in the freezer you couldn't close the door, the apartment door. And the roaches in his kitchen had actually stopped eating.
We're back. You're watching Talk Soup. Greg, John, we're done with that. There are more than 1 million teenagers in America who have babies. Wednesday, Sally spoke with a panel of mothers ranging in age from 14 to 17. One audience member thought several of the young mothers appeared a bit cavalier about their serious situations. He gave them a piece of his mind.
You girls are laughing, snickering up here. You're not even taking this thing serious. I mean, you're telling your story, Dee. You're sitting there cracking up. You got pregnant at 14. You find it hilarious.
13.
13. Jeez. I mean, why are you laughing?
First of all, I wasn't laughing about what I did. I'm very proud of my daughter. I'm not going to sit there and say, I don't regret my daughter. I regret what I did, okay? So if you don't know where I'm coming from, haven't walked in my shoes, don't judge me. That's right.
I love my daughter. Excuse me, sir. I love my daughter, and I'm not snickering up here.
Excuse me.
Excuse me, I was talking first, ma'am. I'm not up here saying that it's great and everything to be pregnant at 13, because I know it isn't. But in the first place, I love my daughter, and I'm very proud to be sitting up here talking to you people, telling you about my daughter.
Yeah. So proud she wore super sensitive Jimmy Houston full camouflage and disguised sunglasses on the program. Only 2% of teenage moms make it through high school. 85% of children born out of wedlock grow up in poverty. Monday, children who've been sexually abused break their silence and confidence. On Sally about their horrible ordeals, brave kids speak out. That'll be Monday. It's a battle of the sexes on Wednesdays. Vicky, at least from the female perspective. Vicky welcomed an all-woman panel, including comedian Rita Rudner, who shared some of her pet peeves about single men and their living habits. Take a look at this.
I don't even think men live like people when they live alone. I think they live like bears with furniture.
Well, they sort of are bears.
Yes, they are. And I used to go over to my husband's cave before we were married. Nothing on the walls except for some food. For some reason, the brakes to his car were in the sink. The frost was so thick in the freezer you couldn't close the door, the apartment door. And the roaches in his kitchen had actually stopped eating. Really, they were full. They were on the counter doing aerobic exercise.
Roaches wouldn't even know how to do aerobics. That's stupid. Another common complaint is that we get lost a lot and never take good directions. Rita Rudner has a book out called Naked Beneath My Clothes. No way. Monday and Vicky, it's everything you wanted to know but were afraid to ask about actress businesswoman Jacqueline Smith. On Tuesday, attorneys for Michael Jackson announced they reached an out-of-court settlement with a 14-year-old boy who claimed he was sexually molested by Michael Jackson. Terms of the settlement were not released, but sources say the boy will receive $5 to $20 million. Jackson continues to proclaim his innocence. I have the highlight now of Good Morning America for you, explaining why he thinks Jackson settled. Here is Arthur Miller. He is a legal editor and a man who I just call Mr. Relaxed.
Well over 90% of all civil cases do settle. So this is just one of that 90%. Michael Jackson has many motivations to settle. Whatever was paid to the boy, assume that the $15 to $24 million surmised by the LA Times is right. That's really chicken feed compared to the income stream of Michael Jackson if his professional life isn't damaged. If the case went on for years, it would probably damage Jackson's career and cost many, many times the amount of the settlement. In addition, it's a tremendously emotionally draining experience, costing hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to defend. And the ultimate irony of civil litigation is you never know whether you're going to win. So settlement seems quite rational.
Arthur, thank you. The LA District Attorney said the settlement of the civil suit against Michael Jackson does not mean the end of the criminal investigation into charges that he sexually molested the teen. Nick Nolte pays a visit to GMA Monday, promoting his new film, I'll Do Anything. When Nightline continues, we'll meet a mother who warns her daughter to stay away from her bad news boyfriend, and the brother of John Wayne Bobbitt makes his first appearance on television after this. Highlights of the talk shows continuing now. Moving on to the Maury Povich Show. Wednesday, Maury featured the first network television appearance by David Bobbitt. He is the brother of the sexually mutilated John Wayne Bobbitt. David criticized the ruling in The Trials You Might Expect of Lorena Bobbitt and defended his brother John Wayne.
Now, I'm going to say something on national TV, okay? I'm an abuser, or I used to be, okay? I'm a violent man. My brother's nowhere near that.
So what you're saying is that the way they portrayed him, the way the defense portrayed him in the trial, you said to yourself, that more resembles me than my brother John?
Exactly. John in our family was, let's put it this way, if I fought with him, he'd back off. He didn't want no violence. He didn't like violence. Now, I'm a biased man. This is my brother, okay? Of course. Whether it's my brother or not, I mean, what Lorena did to him was wrong, period. We have no cases of women losing their private parts in any case. I mean, if you're in an abusive relationship,
what are we trying to
out.
say here, David?
We know what we're trying to say.
Well, tell me what we're trying to say here. What you're trying to say here is, if a man had done that to a woman, if a man had gone and cut off a woman's breast, there wouldn't be innocence by reason of insanity?
No.
Lorena Bobbitt is currently serving 45 days in a mental institution for psychiatric treatment. Some of her friends appeared on the show to say Lorena did what she had to do. Monday, Maury will meet men with enormous egos and the women who love them. Please tune in. Montel gave his teenage guests the opportunity to reveal some pretty startling secrets to their parents yesterday. One guest, Susan, broke the news that she has been defying her mom's directive to stay away from her boyfriend, Mike, a boy she's been living on the streets with since he was 12. Susan's mom explained that Mike is possessive, controlling, and just an overall bad dude.
He would go and he'd see what boys she was hanging around with, and he'd ridicule her, and he'd pull her out, and he'd get her in his car and take her away from high school because he did not want her to have anything that he had. He was not willing to change, and he took everything from my daughter. The only thing he wanted my daughter was pregnant, barefoot, and on welfare, because and that's control. What she would have with him.
Under his control?
Under his control,
so
totally.
Wait, you went as far... Wait, let me just ask Mom. What did you do recently? I mean, you went as far as to get...
I got a restraining order.
A court injunction against him?
Right.
That says what?
That says that he is not allowed to... And this was in agreement, finally, with Suzanne, but that he is not allowed to see Suzanne or any of her immediate family, talk to her on the phone, come to her work, come to any immediate family's work or any immediate family's home or wherever we are. And because not only did he threaten her and tell her that if he can't have her, he would kill her. He'd rather kill her than have anybody else have her. But he said, I will also kill anybody who loves you.
But he said that one time when he was drunk, and I don't know if he really meant it or not.
Oh, well. You know those drunks and their life-threatening death threats after a couple of martinis. The boyfriend, Mike, appeared on the show a bit later and said that he's no longer addicted to pot, alcohol, cocaine, and crack. Do you have to have a beautiful, beautiful body? Monday, Montel hears from women who say they do. They feel it's the only way to attract men. Comedian Bill Maher has been earning his living making some jokes about politics here in America. He has his own show on Comedy Central called Politically Incorrect. Wednesday, Maher appeared on Larry King Live and put his unique spin on some of the big stories making headlines in the past couple of weeks. Take a look at this.
We were working in the office today about what issues we're going to cover on Friday's show, and we're going to do one called, What Do You Have to Do to Go to Jail in This Country? You know, I mean, seriously, I mean, the Bobbitt case, I mean, you can cut off your husband's whatever, you can blow your parents' head off, the Menendez case, and the Michael Jackson verdict came in. You can do what you want with, I mean, I'm not saying they're all guilty.
Are you making judgments?
No, I'm just saying that it's amazing to me that juries in this country, I mean, they are.
What do you make of
What do you have to...
Menendez?
Well, I mean, you're 22 years old, and the only recourse you have is to blow your parents' head off for abuse. I mean, 22 years old, you not only can beat them up, you can drive away. 22 years old. I mean, that, to me, that's debatable is hysterical.
And the Bobbitt case?
The Bobbitt case, you know, I don't think what she did was probably the best recourse, but I'm sympathetic to her and to the verdict to her because I think it's clear that this guy was a typical abusive husband, and that makes me very angry.
It is Bill Maher on Larry King Live. Again, his show is Politically Incorrect. Please don't touch the remote control. Don't think about it. Don't even contemplate it. One last highlight in a moment. Ricky Lake hears from a man who enjoys stealing dates from his identical twin brother next.
It starts out they're friends, and then suddenly they want to be around me more than him. I mean, guys, please. Sure. The guy bores him to death.
Yeah, like he's really hot. Check him out.
We're back. Greg Kinnear with you, and quite frankly, I don't want to be a chicken. I don't want to be a chicken. I don't want to be a duck.
Quack, 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 quack.
Can't we all just get along? Apparently the answer is no for the guest on Wednesday's Ricky Lake show. Ricky heard from Jason. You're about to meet him right now. He is steaming mad at his identical twin brother, who is, of course, Jacob. See, Jacob is always stealing Jason, his identical brother's, dates. Always coming in and just nabbing her at the last minute, and Jason doesn't like it one bit, as you might expect. Jacob says he does it because he's better than his twin.
My brother's boring. Really?
Your husband.
Yes.
Yeah, he's so hot, yeah.
How is he boring?
Oh, wait, see, it's just fact. Every time he goes out with some girl, whatever, they always, they try to be friends with me at first. It starts out they're friends, and then suddenly they want to be around me more than him. I mean, guys, please.
Sure.
The guy bores him to death.
Yeah, like he's really hot. Check him out.
I mean, what happens? It's so funny. He puts him down, but while putting him down, he's putting himself down.
Well, he's still a dork anyway. I mean, I don't give a crap what he says about me.
So, why do you do this out of revenge? You say it's out of revenge.
Because he used to make fun of me when I was little. He always made fun of me when I used to be a little bit chunky when I was little. Okay, I mean, everybody was. But anyway, it's just the fact that he goes out here and told me I looked ugly when I was like, okay, all the time. It's just from now on to
why?
What it is, see, y'all got to go find your own dates and leave ours alone. That's what it is.
Hey, I want to touch your girlfriend, so.
Why do you feel that it's right to steal his girlfriends?
Because I just want to make sure, I just want to tell him that I'm better looking than him.
You're identical twins! Moron. Therapist told Jason if a girl dumps him for his twin brother, she isn't worth his time in the first place. I'm sorry, I got a little carried away. Monday, Ricky meets women who say they married the wrong man. Ricky will reunite them with the men that got away. And that is going to do it for this award-winning talk soup. I'm Greg Kinnear. Tomorrow.